Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in today to talk about what it takes to be an AI engineer in 2024. We are right on time. Let's get started. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Ritesh Vajaria. I've been in technology industry for almost like 25 years now. For last 10 years or so, I've been playing a role in one or shape or other in AI and ML services. For past few months, I've been working at Cerebras. Before that, I have worked at AWS for almost 5 years. And before that, I worked for Bloomberg and many other companies. But these three companies are dominantly because of my AI and ML work I've been doing in all of these three companies. When I was at AWS, I had a privilege to lead the Bloomberg GPT LLM development. At the same time, Falcon 7B, 40B, 180B LLM development, along with many other LLM development, what you might see or have heard of. I've been advising companies, people. I have written books. I have led people. I've been spoken all over the world. I work out of New York area. I live in New York area, particularly in New Jersey. So let's begin. What we are going to cover today in next few minutes is career prospect and opportunities for AI engineer, the skill required for an AI engineer, and we will look at how you can acquire those skills to become an AI engineer. So let's get started. First of all, anything starts with why, right? What are your prospect? Why you want to be an AI engineer? So there is a momentum in the market. If you are not aware, a thing called generative AI, and it's expected that generative AI would infuse more or less, again, economical impact. These are the projections from McKinsey, but they are projecting somewhere between 2.6 trillion to 4.4 trillion in the overall economy. At the same time, LinkedIn has been doing their yearly jobs on the rise, and in the top 10 for this year, they have AI engineer as one of the top 10. And at the same time, as of last night, if you are searching LinkedIn and looking for AI engineer jobs, there are 3,000 plus jobs available in US only, which require or has a title of an AI engineer or similar to an AI engineer. At the same time, there are 1,000 plus, almost 1,000 plus jobs in India for AI engineering. And in Europe, there are more than 500 jobs which are listed for AI engineers. So the market is really hot when it comes to this kind of a career choice. So if you are going to, or if you are thinking about becoming an AI engineer, you are not in a bad spot. There is a tremendous demand for this kind of role, and you would learn a lot and earn a lot as well. When I say earn a lot, these are some of the jobs which has been published with some salary, some non-salary, some distinguished level, some junior level. But as you can see, this is only US roles particularly. But some salaries are like remote jobs with a $96,000 with Sunnyvale, California or Bay Area, California. It's almost like $338,000. These are a real number. Somewhere in Georgia, if you can earn $135,000 being a hybrid AI engineer, I think there is nothing like that. Georgia is nowhere close to New York or San Francisco in terms of the cost of living, right? So that's almost like 250K of New York or almost like 350K of San Francisco if you are thinking in that direction. But there is a lot of opportunities out there in the market about this particular role. So you may be wondering, as an AI engineer, what my day would look like. But here is my input to you. Not think about a day, but think about a week. Because on day one, you might be doing something. Day two, you might be doing something else. So what are that typical week would look like from an AI engineer point of view? So here are some of the work or task typically an AI engineer might be doing. On a given day, they might be building an LLM application. That means they might be coding something for building that LLM application using some sort of a LLM, maybe a public or proprietary LLM like OpenAI or Claude from Anthropic, or could be a Llama-based LLM applications or Mistral-based LLM application. So to do that, they have to write prompts because quite often most of the things starts with a prompt. If you are not doing prompt engineering at the beginning and straight away going to the other avenues of applying AI, you might be missing it out. So they should do a prompt, and they would on a daily basis do a prompt creation, template creation, and many other things. At the same time, they are also integrating with this proprietary and the public or open source LLMs. But quite often, they have to apply a method called RAG or retrieval augmented generation. To do that, they would have to work with embedding models so that they can convert their raw text and raw data into an embeddings. Then they would work with vector database to optimize the storage, implement the vector database, maybe work with their internal teams if somebody is managing their vector database for them, and eventually optimize the RAG workflow for search, for ranking, for indexing, and all the other functionality what they might be required to do. But this is not it, because quite often they will need to fine tune the model because the prompt and RAG will take them up to a certain extent. Then they will need to fine tune the model either because the domain adaptation they would need, or because applying this RAG and prompt engineering techniques are sort of a costlier because there is so much data they may have, and storing everything into that particular uh, domain knowledge would not be sufficient. So they have to fine tune this model. Eventually, they have to deploy these models, whether I'm assuming here is the open source model because the proprietary models like Claude and ChatGPT are already deployed for them. And the standard usual meetings doesn't go away. The collaboration working as an engineer with other engineer or a product manager or a testing engineers doesn't go away. So this is still part of their AI engineering day-to-day role, day-to-day or weekly activities which they would be doing. So you might wonder that Ritesh, you talked about all of this, but what skills required to become an AI engineer? I'm a software engineer. I'm a Java engineer. What do I need to do to become an AI engineer? I've been doing Java engineer for last 10 years and I like it, but I would want to dive into AI engineering. So here are some of the skill set. Again, this is not an exhaustive, but still it is the most skill you would need in 2024. Again, things could change in 2024 beyond. We are in June right now, but it would change in coming months, coming years, depends on how things are evolving in the AI field. But if you are bounded by what you were doing in 2023 or the course curriculum, what you may see, which is bounded to pre-generative AI era, you are missing it out. So what do you need to learn? You need to learn deep learning, which is the fundamental aspect of any generative AI models. You need to understand what NLP is. You need to understand the computer vision at certain extent. Again, you do not need to be an expert in any of these three subjects. You need to understand what they are. The same time, you must know a programming language, a Python, because most of the work in AI engineering is being done with Python. Now, you may say, Ritesh, I know Java or C++. Good. You will very easily pick up Python because it's just you need to understand the syntaxes and some of the semantics of how Python work. Rest is very easy for you to transition away from Java or C++ to Python. Some of you may say, Ritesh, actually, I don't have a Java or C++ background. I come from semi-software engineering background where I'm not actually coding. I may be involved in QA, I may be involved in some other role, DevOps, for example. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. You still can learn Python. Python is very easy to learn. People are teaching their kids to learn Python. So if 10-year-old kid, if 15-year-old kid are learning Python today, you certainly can learn Python. But Python is a very minimum requirement when it comes to the entry into the AI engineering work. The next one in the list is understanding LLMs. And when we say understanding, again, I'm not talking about understanding transformer architecture. You may want to learn it, that's okay, but you don't need to use it every day. You want to understand what ChatGPT is and what it does behind the scenes so that you can operate ChatGPT or Llama or Mistral or any other LLM, but you need to understand what that LLM is and what the LLM architecture is. The next one, because you want to build a RAG pipeline, quite often you will build a RAG pipeline as an AI engineer. So you need to understand what are the embedding models are, what actually it does, what kind of semantic similarity it's looking and generating those semantic vector so that it can be stored in the vector database in a semantic fashion. So talking about vector, we need to understand the vector database as well at certain extent. Doesn't have to be expert you are in vector database, but as long as you understand what vector database is and how the information is stored into the vector database and how you can retrieve that information from vector database, that is what you need to understand as a part of it. The other aspect of a RAG methodology, without saying, is prompt engineering. What do I mean by that? With any interaction you are having with any LLM, whether it's proprietary, open source, doesn't matter, everything has to be via prompt. That means you need to create a template of prompt template, what we call, maybe you are building an entire library of prompts for your particular use cases. You are refining the prompts. You are applying some sort of a zero shot, few shot learning. You may be applying some advanced chain of thought reasoning as a part of your prompt engineering. And beyond any advanced technique you may want to apply, like persona or a role, all of this functionality you want to build as a part of your prompt engineering skill. So once you understand prompt engineering skill, then it becomes very easier to apply it across the board. Now, most of these companies are doing this on a public cloud. Most of their companies' data is on a public cloud now. That means to be an AI engineer, you need to know how to work in cloud. That cloud could be AWS, Azure, GCP, and most of them are similar now. Of course, there are terms are different across each of this, like S3 bucket versus blob storage versus something else. But you need to understand the concept behind it, what in that particular cloud they mean by XYZ. The same time, you want to understand the CI/CD pipeline. What do I mean by CI/CD pipeline is continuous integration, continuous deployment, which is dominant in software engineering. We want to apply similar CI/CD pipeline in AI engineering. Within the machine learning domain, there is a concept called MLOps or machine learning operations. And as part of that MLOps, we create a pipeline. The pipeline would be data transformation, then build the model, train the model, tune the model, eventually evaluate and deploy the model. That could be a MLOps pipeline. Similarly, you may end up building an AIOps pipeline. So you want to understand some of the AI workflow end to end. And one thing I have not listed here, but it would be what I would call as you are growing your AI engineering skill, at some point you want to fine tune your LLMs. And LLMs, typically you want to fine tune open source LLMs. So here, the Llama of the world, the Mistral of the world, you want to fine tune them and you want to start learning about fine tuning a model, because that is going to be very critical in the enterprise world. So you may think that, okay, I understand what skills I need. How do I develop my skills? So there are various ways you can do that. You can do it yourself. YouTube University is excellent. There are so many people publishing every day, so much amount of content, like Andre Karpathy, the guru of our generation of AI. He is creating videos like crazy detailed video about how transformer works, how to convert, how to create a completely tokenizer from scratch, and in many, many more things. And then there are many other experts out there who are doing it. But you need to find that and you need to understand what they are trying to say. The second option could be going through the online course websites like Coursera or Udemy. And again, excellent faculties out there in Coursera, excellent people are creating courses on Udemy, and certainly you want to leverage that. But again, those are on demand courses. So you may think that, okay, then maybe I can go to college where I can have an an interaction with teacher or the professor. Yes, you certainly can do that, but that might be a time consuming, because quite often the colleges are offering degrees in AI engineering, but that might be a long-term process, maybe 2 year, maybe longer. So these are some of the options you have. Now, going on to the Coursera would be a better option if you think from that angle, because many of the Coursera faculties are offering certificate-based courses. So what I tried is I created, or at least I tried to somehow the on the screen it's not showing up, but there are three courses I tried to see what they are offering, and there were three AI engineering course. One from IBM called IBM AI Engineering. The second was actually also from IBM, IBM AI Developer, and the third one is coming from Scrimba. I don't know what that organization is. They are offering AI engineering course. But when I looked at the details of the very first course, what I call IBM AI engineering, and sorry, the picture is not showing up on the screen, but that is not actually training you for 2024. They might be training you for AI engineering, but that is pre-generative AI, pre-generative AI era. They are talking about the traditional AI, and literally zero course curriculum item they have which talks about generative AI. So if you are thinking of taking that IBM AI engineering course, again, this is my opinion. Don't take it as a stamp, but I would not go for that, and I would not waste my time to be prepared for 2024. The IBM AI developer has some value in it. There are some component which might be useful, but it's still you are living out at the end of the course learning something but not actually applying it, because there are so much more required to be an AI engineer. And this course covers maybe 20, maybe 30% of what you might be doing in the field. The third one is actually pretty good, from Scrimba. They are talking about LLM, they are talking about RAG, they are talking about prompt engineering, and many more workflows. So certainly that would be the good choice if you are thinking of taking that course. Now, looking at this, all of these courses available in the market, the amount of people who are required to be hired, there is so much demand but lack of people. What I have done is I have created a course, what I call an AI for engineers. So I've been teaching AI for almost like last 9, 10 months to the worldwide people. There are many courses I have taught on Udemy. There are about 1,500 students who have enrolled in my courses. I also run live courses on Maven on the AI leadership. And there are many students who have enrolled it, and they have like literally changed the role, changed the career path from where they were to where they are today. And similarly, I'm launching this course on AI for engineers, practically covering all of this functionality on how you build an LLM applications, the LLM fundamentals, the prompt engineering, zero shot, few shot, RAG, fine tuning, LLM agents. Yes, we are going to talk about agents as well. And then we will actually do hands on with agents. How do you deploy a model? And how do you do one real project? I'll let you come up with a project. If not, I certainly can guide you in terms of what project you can do of a real world practical hands on project we are going to do as a part of this entire course. And this starts on June 15th, so it's about 2 weeks away. It has 9 live sessions, so we are meeting for 9 times. It starts on Saturday. It goes on for 5 weekends. So it's Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 times, and then one of the Saturday. That's how we are doing a 9 session. Every session will be a 90-minute live, like I'm talking to you, and you can ask questions and you can get answers right now, right away. If I don't have the answer, probably I'll come back with an answer. But it's not a video recorded. So you get immediate feedback, you get an immediate answer from the faculty, like me. And it's starting at a what I would call a universal time, because 10:30 a.m. New York time, it's very universal to most of the world. It's 7:30 Pacific. It's about 8 p.m. India time. It's about middle of the day in Europe. So most of the people are able to accommodate. So hopefully you would be able to join this. But it does require time commitment. I mean, my live courses will run for about 13, 14 hours, but you also need to do a pre-work before every course, every class. Actually, I will give you some pre-work where either you need to read a document or you need to watch a small 30-minute, 15-minute video. So altogether, we are looking at approximately 20 hour of time commitment. And in case you are wondering that, okay, Ritesh, I cannot commit for all of those 5 weekend because weekend is meant for family time. I get it. But in this scenario, if you are not able to make it any particular session, it's recorded. So you can catch up afterwards and you can run through and learn through afterwards and then catch up. Now, since you took an effort to join this session today, as a part of that, as a courtesy, I'm giving a 15% discount to those who have joined today or even registered today. I know some of you were not able to make it, but still, since you have registered, you would be qualified to get a 15% discount. Now, remember the course fee is $1,000. Now, for this 9 live sessions, 90-minute each, $1,000, I'm not actually charging anything. It's literally freebie if you ask me. But I'm passionate about teaching people. I'm passionate about helping people change their career, go their career in the right direction. And that is the reason I'm offering, just so that I can have that motivation of spending that time with all of you. But still, out of that $1,000, as a 15% discount, you will get 15% discount as a result of because you attended today. So this is what I had for you today. I mean, that's the end of the slides. That's the end of the discussion I had. So thank you very much all for joining, and I will share the recording, and we'll take the question answer off the record. Thank you very much.